graduated from Sonora High School, just down the road, 67 miles south on 277, back in May of 2002. And I had every dream and goal to go to University of Texas at Austin. And I was a musician, and I just really wanted to be the next big thing musically. And so I thought Austin was kind of the place to be. So I remember visiting that campus and kind of being overwhelmed by how large the classrooms were, how I didn't know anyone there. And so some people, I think, are drawn to that. I think it kind of spooked me a bit. And so I said, well, I'm going to apply to Angelo State. And so I did, and I got accepted. And it was really a great decision. The classroom sizes were smaller. There were still, I saw some people that I went to high school with, but then I met a lot of new people. I originally started, wanting to be, a music journalist or, like I said, to add something with music in it. But also I enjoyed interviewing people and talking with people. And so I started off as a journalism major at Angelo State, and eventually that would change. And I think was such an important part of my history here, was kind of trying to find who I am. And I'm still trying to find out who I am, but it was really huge then. And then so I went to school for a couple of years and then decided, man, I'm going to play in a band. And I played music and was fortunate to have some success just kind of playing keyboards for some area bands. And I decided I'm going to take a break. So I took a break and then got to learn how hard it was to be out and just, basically you talk about paycheck to paycheck, it's gig to gig, and how difficult that was. Midland, Odessa, Abilene, San Angelo. And so that was really tough. And then I realized about a year and a half in that I needed to come back and finish. And so I came back older. I think I was a better student. And I was, I think the path I cared about helping others. And I thought politics was kind of the way to do that, public policy. So I remember kind of switching my major to government at the time. And because I was really inspired, and I had some great mentors in the government department at that time, Dr. Casey Jones, Mr. Perry, and some of those professors. And they really, really kind of took me under their wing. And it was a really, really important just experience for me. I got to know them. And in addition to that, put me on a path to intern in Washington, D.C. for a congressman and really get entrenched in the world and find out about the things I liked about it, as well as the things that I didn't like about it. So I can tell you that those experiences helped me to love teaching the process, but not so much being in the process. And I think it takes kind of all kinds. And I really enjoy teaching that part, teaching political science, Texas government, American government, because I think it's so important to understand more so than being in it. In addition to that, I went to the nonprofit world. I got my BA in government in 2008, and then I got my master's in public administration in 2010. Went to the nonprofit world for a little while, and was really involved with Galilee Community Development Corporation, building affordable housing for low-income to moderate-income families. So I learned about grant writing. I learned about policy issues involving housing and where we're going as a community. And so it really was an important kind of aspect of my early career. And the unfortunate part that I think probably took a toll was wanting to help everyone. And you realize you can only help bits and pieces at a time, and change takes some time. But it was through my experience at Angelo State, really, and through that process, through my major, through that experience, that I was able to apply at Galilee Community Development Corporation. And eventually I would roll off as a staff member and come back as a board member. At the time, the founder and one of my other mentors was Reverend Floyd Kreider, who was instrumental in a lot that happened in economic and neighborhood development in San Angelo. He stepped away because of just, when you have boards and nonprofits that have the same board for 20 years, grantors tend to kind of look at that as a red flag at times. So he became board president emeritus and founder emeritus. And so I ran and became president of the organization for about 5 years, and did my time, and then I stepped down, and it was one of the highlights of my career, just to kind of help carry that mantle. And they're still doing great work in our community, and it was because of that job, though, that I think it made me a better instructor. I didn't know I would become an instructor. I didn't have this desire to be a teacher, but it was those opportunities, the nonprofit world, learning about policy as an intern, all these things. I said, I want to teach this in the classroom. So I apply all those life skills. They come in and out of my lectures, because at the end of the day, no matter what curriculum we're using or what textbook we're using or what today's lecture is about, it's about teaching students how to network, how to hustle, and really going after opportunities and seizing those opportunities, because I think that's something that spoke a lot to me as a student as well. Well, I love the fact that this is about to be my 10th year at Angelo State, and what's unfortunately happening is some of the years are starting to kind of gray, and so I'll run into a student that'll say, hey, you were my professor, you were my teacher, and I'm trying to jog back my memory a little bit, even a few years, but of course, COVID and all that in the middle of all this, we only saw half of some people's faces. But it's my favorite part of this gig, and I say that lovingly, is the fact that years can go on and you can be at HEB or traveling or doing something, and someone will come up to you and say, you were one of my favorites, or I really enjoyed your class, or or even in some cases, I've even been asked to officiate some of their weddings. So that kind of, it's like a family feel. We tout RamFam all the time, but I really feel like they're real examples of how that is true. And so watching the successes of former students is worth its weight in gold. It is special when they get that job that you maybe wrote a letter of recommendation for, or they have a kid or get married, and all these things. It's just really exciting to see that. And to me, that's what makes this really unique and I'm 10 years in, and in the next 10 years, it's just going to keep building. And I'm excited about that. I love what that, having that kind of connection with these students. It's huge. It's more than just reading off PowerPoint slides. It's your teaching process. You're telling a bit about yourself, but you're really having conversations and building relationships with these students. And I think that's really crucial. Why ASU? Because I think that when you are here and when you are not here anymore, it's like the phrase, once a Ram, always a Ram. It really is. The impact of the friendships you make here, the connections you make with faculty, the experiences now that have grown even in the last 20 years is huge. And so I think why ASU is because you're not a number. You're an individual, and you're an individual that will be remembered. And I think that's huge, and you won't always get that at maybe some other institutions.